You know what takes longer than signing up for a free trial? Canceling it. And that's not an accident. Last month, I tried to cancel a streaming service I hadn't used in 3 months. I clicked account settings, then subscription, then manage plan. Then I was asked why I wanted to leave. Then I was offered a discount. Then another screen asked if I was really sure. Then it told me I lose access to exclusive content. 7 screens, 7 psychological hurdles, all designed for one purpose, to make me give up. And here's the uncomfortable truth. It almost worked. This is called the cancel trap. And once you understand how it operates, you'll never look at that subscribe button the same way again. Here's a number that should concern you. The average American pays for about 12 subscription services, and research found that 84% of people underestimate how much they're spending on subscriptions each month by an average of $133. That's over $1,500 a year in forgotten charges. Let's start with a term you should know: dark patterns. These are design choices intentionally crafted to manipulate user behavior. The phrase was coined by UX designer Harry Brignall in 2010, and subscription cancellation has become the ultimate playground for these tactics. Here's the asymmetry that makes this so frustrating. Signing up takes about 90 seconds. One click, enter your card, done. But canceling, companies have engineered that process to be as exhausting as possible. Amazon Prime's cancellation flow was so convoluted that regulators in Europe actually forced them to simplify it. The original process required 6 separate clicks across multiple pages, each one deploying a different psychological weapon. So what are these weapons exactly? The first is friction, pure, deliberate friction. Every additional step in the cancellation process reduces completion rates by roughly 20%. Companies know this, so they add steps. They hide the cancel button in nested menus. They require you to call a phone number during business hours. Some gym memberships famously require you to send a physical letter through certified mail. In 2024, a letter. But friction is just the beginning. The second weapon is loss aversion. This is a key principle from behavioral economics that says we feel the pain of losing something about twice as intensely as we feel the pleasure of gaining something equivalent. Companies exploit this ruthlessly during cancellation flows. When you try to cancel, you'll see messages like, you'll lose access to your saved playlists, your watch history will be deleted, your loyalty points expire in 30 days. These aren't helpful reminders. They're calculated triggers designed to activate your brain's loss aversion circuitry. Studies show that highlighting potential losses during cancellation increases retention by up to 40%. The third weapon is the discount trap. You've probably experienced this. You're 3 screens into canceling, and suddenly you're offered 50% off for the next 3 months. Sounds great, right? Here's the problem. You weren't using the service anyway. You're not saving 50%, you're spending 50% on something you already decided you don't need. But in that moment, your brain processes it as a gain, not an expense. The framing completely inverts your decision-making. There's also something called the sunk cost fallacy at play here. You've already paid for 11 months. You've invested time building playlists, customizing preferences, accumulating rewards points. Your brain whispers, don't waste all that effort. But that effort is already spent. It's gone regardless of what you do next. Continuing to pay for something you don't use doesn't recover those costs. It just adds new ones. Now, let me introduce you to the most insidious tactic of all, the confirm shaming technique. This is when the cancellation screen presents your options in a way that makes you feel guilty or stupid for leaving. The button to stay says, yes, keep my premium benefits. The button to leave says, no thanks, I don't want to save money. Or even worse, I understand I'll miss out on exclusive content. The language is designed to make cancellation feel like a personal failure rather than a rational choice. Companies have gotten remarkably sophisticated with this. One meal kit service phrases their cancel button as, I don't like delicious easy meals. A language learning app asks, are you sure you want to give up on your dreams of fluency? This isn't neutral interface design. It's psychological manipulation wearing a friendly face. Here's something that might surprise you. These dark patterns actually work better on intelligent, analytical people. Why? Because when you're smart, you're also better at rationalizing. That discount offer? Your brain starts calculating scenarios where it might make sense.
Those sunk costs, you can construct elaborate justifications for why staying actually optimizes your previous investment. Intelligence doesn't protect you from manipulation. Sometimes it makes you more vulnerable to it. The companies deploying these tactics have done the math. If a cancellation float retains just 5% more subscribers, that's millions in additional revenue. So they hire behavioral psychologists. They A/B test every word, every button color, every screen sequence. They know that Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m. is when you're most likely to complete a cancellation, so they make their phone lines busiest at that time. This is engineering at scale, and you are the variable being optimized. But here's where it gets interesting from a regulatory perspective. The FTC has started paying attention. In 2023, they proposed a rule called Click to Cancel, which would require companies to make cancellation as easy as sign-up. The European Union has already implemented similar protections under their consumer rights directives. Some companies have been fined millions for these practices. Yet, the tactics persist. Why? Because the fines are still smaller than the profits. When a streaming service makes $200 million annually from users who wanted to cancel but didn't, a $10 million fine is just a cost of doing business. The incentive structure rewards manipulation. So what can you actually do about this? First, recognize the game being played. When you hit that fourth screen asking if you're really sure, understand that you're experiencing a designed psychological gauntlet, not a helpful confirmation process. Name it. That awareness alone reduces its effectiveness. Second, use the tools available. Browser extensions exist that can automate cancellation processes for many services. Virtual credit cards let you set spending limits or expiration dates, forcing subscriptions to end automatically. Some banks now offer subscription tracking that shows exactly what you're paying for and makes cancellation simpler. Third, consider the annual versus monthly trade-off differently. Companies push annual plans because they know you're less likely to cancel something you've prepaid for. Monthly plans cost more per month but give you natural exit points. Sometimes paying that premium for flexibility is worth it. And finally, do the cancellation math in reverse. Don't ask yourself whether you can afford to keep the subscription. Ask yourself, if I didn't have this service right now, would I sign up for it today at full price? If the answer is no, that tells you everything you need to know. The cancel trap works because it exploits predictable patterns in human psychology. We avoid friction. We fear loss more than we desire gain. We rationalize sunk costs. We respond to social pressure, even from a screen. None of this makes you weak or stupid. It makes you human. But being human also means you can learn. You can recognize patterns. You can build defenses against manipulation. The companies designing these systems are betting that you won't. They're betting that friction will win, that loss aversion will win, that the confirm shame button will make you hesitate just long enough to close the browser and forget about it for another month. Every month you stay subscribed to something you don't use, someone on a product team somewhere is quietly celebrating a successful retention metric. The cancel button exists. It's just designed to make you forget that.